We're just getting some breaking news when it comes to a big move in the chip maker Renesas Electronics, set to halt 6 of its plants in Japan for 2 months, at most by the end of September. We're seeing that stock falling 14%. That's the most in more than 6 years, bigger than any full-day drop since May 2012. This as we are seeing a broader decline across the Japanese benchmark index in the early part of this trading session today. The Nikkei reporting also that they'll be halting work temporarily at 13 of the company's 14 production facilities, including all 9 in Japan. This as inventories in chips continue to pile up due to plunging demand out of China. The plants affected also produce automotive semiconductors. Production for the full year 2019 to decline by more than 10% compared to full year 2018. It is also considering halting 4 plants that operate overseas for a few weeks, and has already notified major auto companies and its own labour union as well. That is according to the Nikkei News. At this point, we are seeing a massive decline in Renesas by almost 15% at the moment. Well, Huawei CFO Meng Wanzhou has appeared in court to begin her legal battle against extradition to the United States, with May 8th the date that's been set for the first full hearing. Krista Gmalik joins us now for all the details. Krista, you were there. What was the atmosphere there in the courtroom?
That's right. Actually, the hearing was quite a short one. The biggest thing, as you noted, to come out of it was the date of Meng's next court appearance, which will be May 8th. So that was kind of the biggest thing to happen in the hearing today. The actual atmosphere, I mean, it was pretty crowded. A lot of journalists, but also a lot of interested members of the public that were there. I think I was one of the last people allowed into the courtroom just because there wasn't enough space. And then, you know, outside of the actual hearing, there were people, protesters, media, just interested people outside the actual courthouse. There was one man who actually was burning the Chinese flag. So certainly a lot of public interest in this case.
This case, of course, one of the many legal issues involving Huawei. Huawei itself now trying to sue the Canadian government and police, the U.S. government. So how does what happened today fit into everything else that's going on with this company?
Yeah, well, one of the most important things to kind of look at is that Meng herself has now sued the Canadian government and Border Control. She's alleged that, you know, her rights have been violated kind of throughout this whole process. And so that's something that we're going to need to keep a close eye on as these extradition proceedings are going on. And then, you know, separate from that, Huawei, the company, is actually planning to sue the United States government over its ban on using Huawei equipment in networks. So you have that going on top of all this. And then separately from those two things, you have, you know, allegations in the United States that Huawei has, you know, stolen trade secrets from T-Mobile. So definitely a lot of moving parts here to keep an eye on.
Krista, thank you so much for that update. Krista Gmalik in Vancouver. Now, China's demand for oil is seen peaking by 2025.